Welcome back. Today we are making cottage pie. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pop Keto Kitchen. Today we are making a bit of a traditional dish with a keto twist. Everyone's pretty familiar with a shepherd's pie. This is a cottage pie. Very, very similar. The main difference is with a shepherd's pie, you use a lamb mince. In a cottage pie, we're using beef mince. Now, other than that, the main change that we're making is to the top. Traditionally, this sort of dish will have a layer of mashed potato across the top. Today, we are going to replace that with a layer of mashed cauliflower, and I promise you, you are not going to miss the potato at all. This is so good. This is another time where we're replacing a higher carb ingredient with lower. So for example, a cup of potatoes, if you were just to chop up potatoes, cup worth, you're getting about 26 grams of carbs in that one cup, replacing it with cauliflower, 5 grams of carbs per cup. So it's a pretty big difference, about 20% of the full carbs that you would be getting on potatoes. If you're enjoying some of the videos we're putting out, enjoying some of the recipes we're making, we'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. You can do that just below or at the end of the video, there'll be a link. Big thank you to those who have already subscribed, really appreciate you guys. And feel free to click that like button anytime you like during the video. That's not a problem when that happens. And of course, if you think someone else would enjoy this video, please feel free to share it. All right, let's jump into today's recipe. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our cauliflower going. Now I've already cut up 2 small to medium sized cauliflowers in here. It's going to give us about 5 cups of cauliflower, I think. And all we're going to do is steam them. We'll know they're ready when we can stick a skewer in there and it just goes in easily. I'm going to put that on behind us. Okay, now that that's going, we're going to get started on our filling. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to brown off 1 kilo of mince. Now this is beef mince. We've got 15% fat beef mince. Given that we're doing keto, we want the higher fat mince. Generally, the benefit of that is it's a little bit cheaper. Now there's also a 20% fat mince, which is probably even better. However, we found at times that can be a little bit grizzly, a little bit chewy where we don't like it. So we're going to brown this off. And the idea is here that we want to get a bit of browning happening to it, get that Maillard reaction going, get a bit of flavor into the dish already. All right, so that's browned off, and we're just going to set that aside for now. Cool. So have a quick check of the cauliflower. Still a bit to go with that, so we'll keep going. All right, so next we're going to start our flavor base. So we are putting in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Get that going again. Into that oil, we are putting 1 whole chopped onion. Now, onions can be a little high carb compared to other ingredients that we could use. I just haven't had much experience experimenting with leekers yet, which is meant to be really good as a replacement. And given that we're only getting 1/8 of an onion in a portion of this dish serves 8, it's not too much. Okay, now to that onion, we are adding 3 stalks of celery, which has been chopped to about the same fineness as the onion. And then 3 carrots, which have also been chopped finely. Now we're just cooking this on a gentle heat. We don't want it to brown off too much. We just want it to get soft. And this could take about 15 minutes. All right, so that's done. Now, while this has been happening, I have been checking on the cauliflower. That's been ready, so I took it off the heat. We're going to keep going with this. Next, we're going to add 500 grams of passata and a clove of garlic. I'm going to cheat and use some minced garlic. We stir that through. Cool. Our next ingredients we've used already in our lasagna recipe, which we've done before. And it really is our secret to getting some of the flavors that we want into our dishes. So that's 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. And we're adding 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Okay, next we're going to add 3 bay leaves. And these are fresh out of our garden. We want to get some more greens in this as well, so we're adding 150 grams of chopped green beans. Next, we're going to add our beef back in. And stir that through. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water back in here, just to thin the sauce up for a little bit to help it coat the meat a bit better. Now often at this point in the recipe like this, you might add some Worcester sauce or some soy sauce. I'm actually experimenting with coconut aminos at the moment. It's a replacement for soy sauce if you don't like soy, and I'm going to use a tablespoon of this in the dish. All right, give it a taste. Use some salt and a bit of pepper. Cool. I'm going to let this simmer for a little bit. I'm going to start working on the cauliflower mash. In the meantime, I've been heating the oven to gas mark 7, which is about 220 Celsius or 425 Fahrenheit. Cool, so that is our lovely cauliflower, and we're using that to replace the potato. That is soft as you like. Probably a little bit overdone, but I don't think it's going to make a difference in what we're doing. To this, we are adding 4 tablespoons of butter. And a good pinch of salt. And we just hit that with a stick mixer. A little bit of it on my t-shirt. Let's give this a try here. That is magic. I ended up putting 5 tablespoons of butter in there, and that is amazing. Okay, so now we're going to put it together. Going to bring our filling back over. That looks awesome. You can't see it because you've got the back of my frying pan. Oh, you can really smell that bay. I'm going to leave the bay leaves in as it cooks. If you do that, just remember to warn people when they're eating it. Beautiful, okay? And on top of that, we add our cauliflower mash. Beautiful. Then the last thing we're going to do before we put it in the oven is grate some cheddar cheese over it. Now we're going to put this in the oven for about 40 minutes, and you can see that I've left a little bit of a gap at the top of the dish. Now I've done that deliberately because it tends to bubble up a little when you cook it, and I want to give it some space to do that. Now I'm still going to put a tray under it in case it bubbles over in the oven, and that's just to help clean up afterwards. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but we'll be back shortly. Okay, time's up, let's get it out of the oven. Boom, look at that. Alright, so I'll probably let it go a little bit long, you can see by the edges there, but that is pretty good looking. Alright, let's cut a slice out. Always make a mess of that first slice. If you really smell the bay coming through. So I've invited Lisa in for the final tasting and to give the verdict. Have a taste, babe. What do you reckon?
Looks lovely. So this is a really great low carb pie, isn't it?
So obviously there's no base to it. As I said, that reduction on the potato mash to the cauli mash, you're not going to miss the potato at all.
It's really creamy, so it's really hot too. Yeah, it's really creamy and that's really, really yummy. It's another way, a great way of getting your cruciferous veggies into you as well.
Oh yeah, the cauliflower is cruciferous. Yeah, I forgot. So you've got the cauliflower, you've got some carrot, you've got some celery, you've got green beans, so you're getting some veggies in there as well. Yeah. Don't let people tell you that keto is all about butter and bacon. Like this is a good meal with lots of bits in it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is, absolutely. It's like trying to get as much veggie as we can into everything that we're eating. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a great way to do it. So tasty. Yum.
Cool. Well, hope you've enjoyed that, guys. Thanks again. Hope you've hit the like button. You can still do that now if you like. And we'll see you next time. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.